Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
Where's Kacey?
Unfortunately, Casey isn't coming today. She actually sent a message, an email. Let me get my emails up. Ooh. She said, I have a podcast deadline I'm racing towards, so I won't be able to be at this recording, sorry. Although I should have a brand new limited series out by the end of this month about an online cult leader. I hope you're well. Um, and then she um, has mentioned something about the subject that we're going to be talking about. So yeah,
I don't know. This is the third one in a row she's missed. I think we have to fire her.
yeah. Well, that's what you see. That's what you get when you hire a superstar. They have to go off and do their own thing. They split
Yeah,
up from the band. They go solo for a bit.
I
Yeah,
guess it makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just like Robbie Williams. It's like Ginger Spice. It's like them all. They all have to leave after a certain amount of time, spread their wings.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll
Yeah.
allow it this time.
I
We'll let
mean,
it pass.
we were just riding our coattails anyway, really, weren't we? I mean,
Well, to be honest.
Okay, so just the three of us. Right. Have you all got fun facts?
I've got a
a
fact.
fact.
I don't know how fun it is.
Okay, okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's put it
The
this way.
fun is interpretive.
I've got I've had absolutely no time to because been having issues with this computer and I was late getting in and various things at work. I haven't actually had time to actually get together any subject matter for this. Although I
You've had a
did.
month. What have you been waiting for? What have you
I
been doing with your life?
I am the boy that does his homework on the last night and then throws it in all scrabbly and
That's in no way what I was doing just now.
hello and welcome to your special delivery of the Cosmic Pizza Podcast. And we're absolutely thrilled to have you join us for another great episode. I'm Paul from the UK, and as ever, I am accompanied by the awesome delivery team of.
Dan in the UK.
And Shawn in Canada.
And again, we're one person down. Kacey, well, we were discussing this before the recording. You get a group, you get a boy band, a girl band, you get a group, and they all get together and they all have hits. And then suddenly one of them says, "No, no, I want to go off and do my own thing." And split from the band. Robbie Williams, Ginger Spice, to mention a couple. Um, and well, Casey hasn't split. All she's done is she is recording a series of podcasts about an online cult leader, and she's hoping to have that released by the end of the month. Um, I assume that's March she is talking about. So we are recording this right at the beginning of March. So hopefully by the end of March and by the time we get our next podcast recording, she will have out a new series. So keep an eye on the Cult Vault podcast, and look out for a new series coming up.
Does that also mean that we're becoming a pop group? I lost track of that conversation there for a second. So are we now what, Men to Pizza, or what's the boy band name going to be?
Well, it was going to be four, but
Oh
now it's
yeah,
got to be three. So
Three
that's
slices. We'll call it three
three
slices.
three
slices. There we
slices.
go. Three
Yeah,
slices. Nice.
But I won't sing because nobody needs to hear that.
yeah. You
Well,
just
we need more cowbell, so you can just be the guy on the cowbell in the background.
the triangle.
Sure. Don't expect any rhythm though.
Anyway, yes. So yeah, before we start launch our singing career, um, Has anybody got any news, any feedback at all, or
I do indeed, yes. A friend of mine, Leisha Larson, she's a counselor. She's actually starting her own business. So if you're in the sort of lower Kent area and you're looking for some counselling, Leisha Larson dot Leisha Larson counselling.co.uk. I should get that right. She messaged me back. She's been listening to our show recently, been telling her all about it, and she's finally caught up with us. But her bit of feedback for us is it is a compliment, but she said she loves to put us on and fall asleep listening to us. Apparently, we have very
That's
soothing
fair.
voices.
That's
yeah,
fair.
that's
So she,
I'm not surprised.
so I
welcome
think we should
to the
also branch
Cosmic
out
Pizza
into
podcast.
yeah, we should branch out into ASMR. I think that's our next thing. Maybe that's the boy band like type of music. We should just be ASMR albums. But yeah, thank you, Leisha, and good luck with the new business.
Can I just ask, because I have a vested interest in this, the does she specialize in certain areas, or is she just a
As
general counselor?
far as I know, it's general counselling. She has all of her details on the website in terms of her speciality and things like that. She's worked for a company previously, so she's just wanting to branch out. She's got her own clients from there, so she's brought some over. But obviously, she's always looking for new clients. So
We
yeah,
should
she said get in touch.
put her website in the show notes.
I will definitely will.
Ooh,
Yes, it'll be in the show notes, and also I will display it on the screen right here. If you're watching
ooh.
on YouTube, of course,
I'm
because we
I'm
are
not.
on YouTube.
I don't see it.
You don't see
I
it.
don't see it, Paul.
D- What do you mean you don't see it? It's right there. Look, look, it's gone past you
Oh,
there.
there,
See?
there, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So very good. No, the reason because I mean I was assuming that
Mm,
you say in the
mm,
Kent area, and we have obviously
mm,
we've got councillors up in our area, well, as most people do,
mm.
and obviously my youngest child is using the services of a counsellor, and my cat is just coming after chasing another cat away. Um, And so they do counseling sessions on Zoom, and that's if we can't get to the person physically,
Mm.
to actually speak to them there. And this is she's only, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles away, but it's a very hard place to get to, and there's no trains go that way, there's no buses go that way. Um, it's in the middle of a housing estate, and there's just nothing really there. Although it is just around the corner from a shopping centre, which probably does have a good bus service, but not really to where we are. Um,
Mm.
so it is, she is available on Zoom. So I was just wondering whether your counselling friend would be open to having
Mm.
Zoom counselling sessions
I
with
will
people
have to ask her.
further away.
Well, I mean, she must have been cancelling through the COVID years in that way, so I imagine she must be set up for it, or at least has experience of it. Leisha, if you're listening right now to the episode, let us know. But I'll message her before before then. But yeah, that's actually it's a good point. She could
Oh,
increase her customer base.
definitely, especially if you've got a website. The website is available all around the world. And as you know, we,
Very
we
true,
are
very true.
broadcasting to Australia and Canada and America,
Mhm.
so as well as the UK. So yeah,
All over the map.
yeah.
What about
So,
Iran? Are we broadcasting to Iran right
oh,
now?
yeah, well, they definitely. Well, I know there's somebody in this world who definitely needs some counselling,
There you
but
go.
Hmm.
yeah, aggressive tendencies. Yeah.
A little bit.
So okay, very good, very good. Always good to have another listener. I wondered who the extra person was who
Hmm.
downloaded the the episode. Oh God, I shouldn't do that. You probably can't see. I've got a lump on my chest there. I'm doing an impression of Iron Man. I won't
Oh,
I won't expose my chest, but right there is an ECG monitor.
Oh,
oh,
fancy.
wow.
It's and when I took my top off, it does look as though I've got an Iron Man thing in the middle there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just monitoring my heart to make sure that it is beating correctly and doing things it should be. It's just a general thing. It's not for anything specific. Uh, anyway, moving on to fun facts.
This month's Fun Facts.
I got one.
Go on then.
Okay, let me pull it up here on my phone. Okay. So it's nothing to do with Canada or the UK, but it is to do with our friends in America. And according to a study that was recently done, it says here the annoyance economy costs American consumers $166 billion a year in lost time and dollars. So they break that down. Junk fees cost them 90 billion a year. Phone scams are 25 billion. Calls with health insurance administrators, 21 billion. Waiting for medical services, 19.4 billion. Robocalls, 8 billion. And waiting for government services, $1.6 billion. So just those things where you're wasting time on the phone or you're being scammed, $166 billion a year to our American friends they waste every year.
Wow.
Jeez.
I don't know if that's fun or not, but
It's a fact.
that's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah. As someone who spent the last 2 days on hold to several companies through work for legit work purposes, I think I've felt every single one of those dollars. So yeah, that's not nice at all. That's a
No.
complete waste of time and money. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a study to
Hmm.
prove it.
Yeah, and they've
Yeah,
wasted money
they got the money.
paying for somebody to actually calculate the cost of it all.
There you go.
Dear
Oh God.
goodness. Okay, Dan, what's your fun fact?
Mine's actually kind of related to our subject for the episode, but the gong farmers, you may have heard of it in history books and things like this, but gong farming was an industry back in the medieval times. Basically, you were the guy with the shovel who would take out all the things that nobody wants to take out from the outhouses. So when people would throw all of their urine and effluence, shall we say, out into the streets, someone, a gong farmer, would collect it all up in their shovel and take it out to the outer rims of the society. But because it was such horrible work, because they were social pariahs, they were only allowed to work between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. No one wanted to see them. No one wanted to actually think about the person who had to do the gong farming. Gong actually comes from the old English word to go to the toilet, funnily enough. And they used to get the reputation as being the night men. So yeah, gong farmers used to work at night, and it's a forgotten skill because obviously it's an industry that just went away after Thomas Crapper and the toilet and all that stuff.
Interesting.
Very nice. Very relevant to the subject. Well done.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I wonder how they saw what they were doing.
I don't think
Yeah,
you'd want to.
apparently there was so much more like on their lives and things. If you actually were caught, it's where the expression "where there's muck, there's brass" comes from, because people would lose rings and jewelry and stuff into the stuff. If they kept it, they would become even richer, and they were actually paid very well, but they become richer because they could sell off the jewelry. But if they were caught doing that, or if they were caught putting the poo where it wasn't supposed to go, which was these lay stalls which were theirs, they could actually be buried in their own lay stall as a punishment. So
my.
you were literally getting a shit job and getting the stick and getting shafted by being put in a shaft and filled with poo.
Wow.
There, more fun facts. There's so many things about gong farming that I now wish I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like an upcoming episode.
It's the spin-off from this episode, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Oh,
so
what do you
my
got for us?
well, I have this is going to sound like the setup for a joke, but it's not. I promise you it's not. This is actually real. So what would you get if you crossed a cow with a bison?
A delicious burger?
This is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. You would get a cow bison hybrid that is known as a beefalo,
Hmm.
or sometimes a cataloo.
Well then.
Typically created by crossing a male domestic bull, Bos taurus, with a female American bison, bison bison. Specifically bred for agriculture, they are generally 3/8 bison and 5/8 bovine. These fertile hybrids combine the meat quality and hardness of bison with the docile nature of cattle.
And they
There
can
you go.
reproduce.
And they can reproduce.
Wow.
So
But
there you
only
go.
when they're in the mood.
Oh,
Oh.
dear, oh dear.
Ba-dum-bum.
Sorry. Sorry.
I shall display a picture of it here on the video, which the guys can't see because it's all done in post. But it basically looks like the front end of a sort of a bison with a very big bison-y sort of body, a cowish sort of face, but with the horns you'd expect from a bison, but smaller.
You sure it's not just a cunning farmer who's basically sawed one in half, stuck them together, and tried to make an industry? So I'm the first one to breed these two. This is crazy.
Excellent, very good. So on with the show. So our main topic of discussion today is skills that we no longer need or use. Skills that we may have been taught at school or even just learned generally as a youngster that now are no longer relevant because of apps and AI and other things. Um, so the reason I was thinking about this is we were talking about it a while back, and I bumped into our receptionist at work, and I can't remember why. Oh, that's right. I asked her to get us some pencils because I'm sick of picking up a pen and it running out. You know, it's dried up because it's just hasn't been used for so long, and it's a perfectly good pen. It's just that it's no good. Well, pencils don't do that. You can sharpen them and they can last quite a long time. So I asked her to get me some more pencils, and I said to her, there's not many people actually write things down these days. It's all, either on computers or it's on your phone or whatever. And I said, writing is becoming a bit of a lost skill, really, a lost art. And she said, yeah, she says, I know what you mean. I used to do shorthand. And she says, no, nobody does shorthand anymore because nobody even writes, let alone use shorthand. But she says, but shorthand is really good if you're dyslexic because you effectively
Mm.
you take out all the vowels. So she says it makes writing a bit easier. Now, I don't know a thing about shorthand, so I just, okay, fine, believe it. I've not really looked into it in any way. But shorthand is certainly something that you don't hear people doing a lot of these days.
Mm.
So I thought, we get together, find out some more skills that we may have or things that we may no longer use. So, what have you guys come up with?
I'll hear. But actually, what I did was just found some that had nothing to do with AI, but skills that we don't have anymore because we're not medieval farmers, such as we no longer know how to use a sign.
Yes,
Ooh,
that is true.
very good point.
We
Yes.
don't know about edible plants because is it edible or is it death?
Edible or death? Sounds like an
Edible or
Eddie
death?
Izzard.
Yeah. Uh, does anybody know how to dig a well? No, I don't think they do.
Oh,
No.
Do you know how to turn animal skin into clothes? I doubt it. Do you know how to graft a tree so you can make hybrids of different fruits? Probably not.
no,
And do you know how to spin wool to make it into thread to build your own clothes? Probably not.
no. No.
So that's a list here I've got, but I've got other ones too that
Or
actually
talking,
have to do with AI.
yeah, I mean, talking about threads and things, how many people these days would use a sewing machine or even sew their own clothes, maybe even
Mhm.
sew a button back on? Um,
Exactly.
this is something my eldest son was asking my wife to do. He said, "Oh, I've got a button coming off. I think, could you sew it back on for me?" She said, "For goodness sake, we never taught this at school." He went, "Well, yeah, but I've never done it, before, and it's just not." For goodness sake, it's a simple thing, just sewing a button on, or even hemming something, or taking some trousers up that may be too long and making them a little bit shorter, sewing a hem on them. All of these things people just don't do. They just go out and buy another pair of trousers now.
Mm.
Whereas my youngest has just made themselves a cloak for a cosplay, and my wife showed him how to use the sewing machine and made a hood with a cloak and with long
Mm,
sleeves. Did it all themselves. So a new skill has been given to our youngest, who is now able to at least use a sewing machine.
that's impressive.
Mm.
I
Mm.
don't think I've ever used a sewing machine to hem pants. I can sew on a button. I've done that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when was the last time? Probably decades ago.
No, I did it recently within the last year or so because my button fell off my trousers and I realized that I had about three or four pairs of the same trousers because I use them for work, and they were all suffering from the same thing. As a person sort of spreads out a bit over the years, you start to put a bit more pressure on the buttons, and yeah, they were all coming loose. So I had to tighten them up a bit and redo them. But I mean, I wouldn't say I could do I could shorten trousers, but they would look a mess because I just don't do it, and I don't know how to use the sewing machine. I would certainly do it by hand,
Hmm.
but it wouldn't last. It wouldn't be that good.
No,
So yeah.
I probably wouldn't call them trousers. I don't think that's a word I
No.
ever use.
Oh,
I would call them pants.
pants. Yeah,
Is
it's
that
what
a
I
word
do
you
after a
guys use
long
over
run.
there? Yeah, a lot of panting. Yeah, but you guys use the word pants, or is it always
We,
trousers?
no, we do. Yeah, pants, trousers. There's a few other names that we've got. Yeah.
Slacks. That's not
Slacks.
a word I would
Yeah,
ever
I mean,
use.
Yeah,
see, down south though,
kecks.
pants would be like the underwear. The
Mm.
underwear is pants, and that's
Really,
not
eh?
boxers. That is your Y fronts are called pants.
Mm.
Oh.
So if I sewed up my pants, I wouldn't be able to use them. Um, it would be It would just be cloth, I guess.
Mhm.
But no, the only person that I know needs things sewn all the time is my middle child because he's in the cadets. He gets his badges, he needs to sew them
Mm.
on, things like that.
Mhm.
But he still can't master it. He's been shown how to do it. My wife is very good at it. Um, Her mother, my mother-in-law, she is a professional seamstress, so she's made dresses. She can still make them. She made my wife's wedding dress and all sorts of things. She's made wedding dresses for some of our friends as well. It's a very like intense skill that she has. She can draw the patterns, make everything out, and she can build an outfit. It's just nothing I've ever been able to do. I had my textiles teacher show me. Been shown how to use a sewing machine. I just never
Mhm.
had that craft, that skill to do it myself. And also, you've got new technology replacing it, which is something that Shawn raised, and with the gong farmers as well. You know, you have technology that replaces it. Is there a need to learn the skill? You've got with hems, you've got the iron-on strips that you can place inside, and when you iron them on, it will seal the fabric together. But when you don't need it, you just pull it, and it will eventually unweld. And you just put a new strip in. So, do we need to if there's new and better and faster technology that replaces it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. I mean, another example of that would be map reading. A good
Got
old
that on my
paper
list.
map. Yeah, there you go. Good
Hmm.
old-fashioned paper map. I used to read maps. Used to, we obviously you drive down south, towards London direction, and you get your map out, and Linda would be sat next to me. She'd be reading the map. I'd be doing the driving. They would swap halfway, and then I'd read the map and get us lost. And she would then do the driving. But now with Google Maps or any other map app you need to use, you don't even think about it. You just put in the destination and go where it tells you. And most of the time it's okay, but
Most.
there are other times you think, and do I really want to go down there? Or I can't go down that road, surely. You can see it, but the map can't. So there is a certain skill in using maps. My father-in-law just puts in the destination and off he drives. Ends up driving through the middle of Birmingham, going down to London, going down to Bristol. Ended up going through Birmingham from Liverpool direction. That's like halfway across the country to get to one of the busiest cities in the country, drive through the
Mm.
middle of it, come out the other side, and then head in a totally different direction to get to Bristol. It was bizarre, but he just believed it was going the right way. Yeah. So yeah, map reading.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. What about brainstorming by yourself? Now that you have AI, they can throw out 50
Mm.
ideas in half a second, so you don't have to stare at a blank page anymore.
Hmm.
And where's your creativity? It's gone because you've outsourced your creativity.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Uh,
that's a skill we're losing.
I've outsourced my memory. Why
Yeah,
do I need to remember things when I can just straight onto Google and say, tell me what the currency is in Japan or something. I don't have to remember what it is. I just ask. You've got the whole
Mm.
world's information and memory stored in a little thing in your pocket, and you can just ask any time. Why do I need to remember it anymore?
that's it. I don't even look at I don't Google things anymore. I just ask the Chat GPT. I said, hey, blah blah blah, what's this? And they give me all the answers, and I might verify it later just to make sure. But yeah, I don't even Google stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I always double check and verify because I never believe anything the computer tells me.
Because you can.
In fact, I saw a meme the other day. It said, "Never believe what the computer tells you." Ow, cat! Cat's just tried to jump on me and clawed me to death. Get up here! There was a meme anyway that said, "Don't believe everything the computer tells you." It's by Abraham Lincoln. So, computers. There's another one. I mean, I can remember how to use a 3.5 inch floppy disk and Windows 98, and there's a skill that's disappeared now.
Yeah, that's not
That's
something you'll
definitely
need
one I
anytime
had as
soon.
well.
Or even going further
Mm.
back, how to use DOS and write programs in DOS and things. So, I mean, which I
Well, that
80
one I
tried,
never
but
knew.
yeah, ow,
Yeah.
God, I think I'm bleeding. Come here, cat.
But
Come up
no,
here and do it properly.
with the floppy disk, that's definitely. Does anyone remember defragging your floppy
Yes,
disk
yes.
Oh yes.
so that you got to get rid of all the corrupted memory so you could get it back again? Just a whole idea that what you're plugging into your computer that is supposed to be there to save your work so you don't forget it or you don't lose it is actually losing it for you, and you have to learn how to fix it. It was such a time-consuming job just to do something so simple,
Yeah.
and yet, I said, "Oh, defragging" to one of my kids, and they thought it was frag, as in frag grenade from gaming. It's like, well, defrag. What you mean? You mean respawn? That's the same thing, right? No, 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 no. It's completely different.
Yeah, defragging. I've seen a picture of a zebra when it's been defragged. It's if you imagine what that is. But anyway, yeah, I mean that sort of thing is just a lost art, isn't it? I mean, I showed my kids what a 3D. Sorry, yeah, I showed my kids a 3.5 inch floppy, and they said, "Oh, you 3D printed the save icon."
Yeah, pretty much, right?
It's true.
So, oh, yeah, this cat's getting on my nerves. Well, he's getting on my lap actually, but now he's sitting down.
And speaking of films, we don't develop film anymore.
No,
Have you ever been in a dark
Yeah.
room? I don't know.
not intentionally. Not since the last time
No.
with that fella. But anyway, um, it was yeah. I'm in the dark room every night when they turn the lights off and go to sleep. No, but
So
I
how
know what
much
you mean.
film are you developing?
Yo, my have a look on YouTube. The there's that's definitely a skill. My granddad used to do that. He used to develop his own films. It's obviously cheaper than sending it off at the time because this would be like early 70s when he used to do that. Um, but yeah, it's y- does anybody do that these days? You don't send them off to get developed. I mean, are there still any cameras that use film?
I think there is, but do you remember in the parking lots of grocery stores where they had the 1 hour photo booths? Did they have that over there?
We had photo booths over here, which would be like instant pictures.
Hmm.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing that they would take that long, but yeah, you're talking about somebody like you would hand it in and you come back a bit
Yeah,
later and they
it
would be
it
done.
it,
Oh, right,
it would
okay.
be like a little hut in
Hmm.
in the parking lot of a grocery store where you would drop off your film and they would develop it for you and you
Oh,
pick it
right,
up
okay.
later.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we could do that
We've
in supermarkets and things.
Yeah,
There'd
exactly.
be a
That's what I
booth in
mean.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
grocery
yeah.
stores. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
We have at the moment we still in our nearest supermarket, our Asda, has a Timpsons, which is key cutting and doing all sorts of taking care of your shoes, all that kind of things. Again, forgotten skills. But they used to have the photo booth attached to a Timpsons in the area. So that's something that's completely gone. I always miss that mystery of taking all those photos with one of those disposable cameras, taking it in
Mhm.
and wondering what the hell did I capture? Realizing that I shouldn't really be taking photos and drinking at the same time.
Mm.
Definitely not. That's true.
Mm.
So yeah. Here's a skill that has definitely gone by the wayside. We'll never see again. Is programming the video recorder to record a program the next day.
Oh
Yep,
yes,
I had
on
that one too.
on your
Mm.
VCR. Yes.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
VCRs, putting a tape in and you know, but setting the timer so it would actually come on at a certain time and hoping that the program would actually come on at that
Mm,
time when you set it.
right.
Always miss the last 10 minutes of it or something.
Oh
So
yeah.
you set it for an hour, 30 minutes either side of the program, it's like just to make sure you record it.
That's
But
something
making
I
sure
haven't
that
done
the
in years.
making sure that the channel that you're recording though is properly tuned in. This is
Oh,
something that I had to go through recently with my kids. My parents have still got their old Atari, and we were trying to hook it into the TV that was in the kids' room at their place. And they've been looking at it for months, and they wanted to play it. They wanted to play it, and the TV that they have doesn't anymore pick up the low frequency of the Atari, which is in a 50 megahertz range. Modern TV 60. So you can't tune in the actual system to it without an adapter and so forth and so forth. So my dad's looking into that. But tuning in a TV station, they were all sat there wondering what the hell I was doing as I was going through this menu system into like a forgotten world as far as they were concerned of megahertz and frequencies and seeing all this like just weird frequency and static on the screen. It's like, what the hell is this? And this is that's radiation. That's the background radiation of the universe. It's just there, and I'm cycling through it. And they just didn't believe me. They thought I was just making all this stuff up. But tuning in the TV channel so that when you did record it and you did set your VCR, you weren't actually recording a bunch of static. It's a whole ball game, and it baffles the mind all the amount of things you have to do. When now it's just go through the menus on the Sky. Oh, there it is. I want to record it, make sure that I don't forget it, or set it up as my favorite to watch because it's on demand, so it'll always be there anyway.
that's like when you had to be the TV antenna adjuster because you were
Yes.
the remote
Oh
control.
my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit this way, a little bit that way. No, no, it's snowy again. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Okay, stand right there on your tiptoes with your hand right here. You
Yeah.
know,
Don't move. Don't move. We we did
I
that. So
used to
what?
have metal rim glasses, so it used to boost the signal, so I would actually stand with it. I was always the one picked to do it because the metal prominence.
of course.
We had we were on a canal boat on holiday in oh, good grief, what was the year? The 1981, I think it was, when Charles and Diana got married. Was it 81? I
Mm.
can't remember what year it was
Yeah,
now. It was
80 or
around that time of
81,
day. Yeah.
82, something like that.
And so the wedding was on. We had a black and white television that could run off 24 volts from the actual battery in the boat. And we were riding along, and my mum and my auntie were in the cabin saying, "Hey, hurry up, we've got to park up, we've got to park up, it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen soon. Park up." So, but Dad's trying to find somewhere to go and says, "Oh, we can't get a signal, we can't get a signal." And then eventually he said, "Oh, yeah, stop there, we got a perfect signal." And my dad had actually got the boat stuck right across the side of the canal because he got it turned it too much, and he put his nose into one wall and it got stuck on the other. And they were saying, "No, keep it there, we got a perfect picture, we got a perfect picture." I went, "We can't stop here, we got to straighten this thing out." We had to straighten the boat out and then to get the TV, and it was literally a coat hanger, stuck into the top of the TV to try and get a signal. And it was a black and white TV at the time, so we managed to watch it. We managed to watch the actual the wedding. So yeah. And why did nobody tell me that I've got the Babylon 5 podcast
Oh, you know what? I wasn't even paying
backdrop
attention.
on? It's it's
That's true.
it's
You do.
definitely there's definitely something going on because I've changed. I must have changed the profile or something because I've now got different pictures and all sorts of things going on here.
That's too funny. Yeah, I didn't even realize you were doing the Babylon 5.
No, the picture's not there. So I think what I've done is I've changed the profile and it's changed everything. I need to find how to change that.
I thought
Uh,
it was just unintentional that we'd picked Rusted Robot Podcast, Epsilon, and Temporal, all ones that haven't been boasting anything recently. I thought that's what we were going on theme. You know, it was on purpose that we were doing this.
no longer needed skills. An Epsilon 3
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Hmm. Got to leave all this in for the YouTube. This is all background
Oh,
of
definitely. I
how a
mean,
podcast is
I,
made. There it is.
well, there's one of them. I'll find the other one later. I have no idea where that's gone now.
Yeah, I'm trying
Oh,
to. I don't know how to change my background picture.
even better. I've just totally lost you guys.
Oh,
Where on earth have you gone?
not telling.
This is great. Oh man, I can't see a thing. I'm totally blind. Um, a Zoom meeting. You're right, I am. Can I actually join it, please? Help. What can you guys see of me? Because I can't see a thing.
I can see
that
you, and
could
you're in front of your Paul and Casey.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay. I've lost
It's
my.
zoomed up though. It's really zoomed up, so you can just see
Yeah.
you and you can see Casey other side, and then your head is covering the word "you" in the serving you a slice of life.
Help. I went and closed the box. Now I can't see anybody. Oh, well.
Forgotten skill of how to use the old version of Zoom, which no longer exists.
Yes. This is a real pain. Okay. Anyway, carry on. Carry on, guys. I'll try and find out how to get
What
back in a minute.
what were we talking about?
Di-
We
Disuse
left
skills, unused skills.
disuse, yeah, and tuning in TVs is where we left it.
Tuning in TVs. Okay, well here's one. How about switchboard operators? Before direct
Mm.
dialing, you couldn't just punch in a number. You'd pick up the phone, and a real person called a switchboard operator would manually connect your call by plugging cables into a giant board. Companies like Bell System employed thousands of operators in the early 1900s. Now that's nothing
Yeah.
to do with AI, but that's a skill that we don't have anymore, is it?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I actually have some experience with this because Foreign Office communications, you have to make sure we're not getting hacked, all this sort of stuff, government secrets, all this sort of stuff. Back in the day, I was kind of a switchboard operator, you could say, for a couple of months. When we received messages from outside the country, it would come into one server. That server then had a hard drive which you could pull out. You pull out the hard drive, you then read all the messages on the special laptop that we would have that would be hooked up to, well, not laptop, it was a desktop at that time. Read all the messages, blah, 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 print it out, then you scan that email, you then put it onto another hard drive, plug that hard drive into another system, and then you then message back to the thing. So that way you couldn't get hacked and all this kind of stuff. And you could send relay message. So I was kind of like a switchboard operator. And then within the 2 years that I was in the job that I was in, we moved from that hard drive system to a literal click and switch, and it would just basically move from one encryption to another. Nice and simple. And that replaced the job straight away. I didn't need to do it anymore. People, when they sent their email, they just made sure that that switch was on there, and people could do it for themselves. So I've seen a death of a kind of a switchboard. It's really weird to think that that was something we had to do back then.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Definitely a lost skill.
Mm.
Another one I've got here is mental arithmetic.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
that's
Have you,
true.
you just whip out your
I've
phone,
got
get
my
the
eldest.
calculator there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
you don't
even
have to
My
know
eldest is
anything
doing
anymore.
GCSEs. Can't do
no,
it.
don't need to know
Yeah.
spelling at all. Just ask Google.
That's right. And that goes
Mm.
along with that. You don't have to memorize phone numbers anymore.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I don't even know my own phone number half the time, but I certainly wouldn't, and I can just about remember my wife's. But after that, I wouldn't know it. I press the picture on the screen.
Yeah, pretty
Mm.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
It's
my
just
phone
there.
number. I know the wife's phone number. I might know my dad's phone number. And other than that, that's it. But I know my credit card number. I can remember all 16 digits because
wow.
online shopping.
I just use PayPal or something like that. Yeah, I never have to bother with that anymore.
But along with that, time in analog, literally just today, had to remind my child how Roman numerals work on a clock face and what was four and what is six. Clearly, they have not been watching enough Star Trek, so I need to get them back into that so they can see the posters. But no, reading time in analog using an old clock is just gone. Unless it's digital, they just don't want to know.
Well, that's true. You're not
Yeah,
wrong about that.
there you go, from the screen.
Hey,
Good work.
So what else have we got?
Well, I have a few old-timey ones. For example, and you guys would have more knowledge about this than I do. Knocker uppers.
hmm
In industrial England, professional knocker uppers were paid to wake people up for work by tapping on their windows with long sticks or shooting dried peas at the glass. This was common in cities like London before alarm clocks were affordable.
That's true.
So there you go.
yeah,
Although,
Probably hasn't been
nice
one of
if I
those in
could get it.
120 years, but
well, yeah, but also to knock somebody up means to get them pregnant. So
Well,
when you got professional locker-uppers,
but not as much
Happy,
as there used to be.
yeah,
People are not having
happy
as
to be
much
of
sex as
service.
they used to be. It's true. Yeah, you're keeping England alive there, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. Proper Benny Hill.
Doing your part,
Yeah,
doing your part for king and country.
absolutely.
I never get to say that. How
Anything
about
else?
basic essay
Oh,
writing
yeah.
or resume writing? You don't have to do that anymore. You ask AI and it pumps it out for you there in 20 seconds.
Yeah, certainly does. Gets it
Yeah.
wrong, but yeah.
Well, sure.
Letter writing was on my one as well. It's just
Yeah.
writing a letter, like the amount of like love letters I used to send to girls that I liked
Mm,
and things like that, and just pages and pages of stuff. Now it's just a text. How you
right.
doing? Done. It's just the lost art of all of that letter writing.
That's true.
Yeah, just all gone. And in a business context as well, it's better if you plug it through the AI because obviously then you can be one step removed. I was like, oh, I wrote you a letter to this parent, through work. The AI wrote it, so I'm not responsible for what it said. That's just what it did. This is a company email, this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You're divorcing yourself from the responsibility of that causing offense because the AI did it.
The AI did it.
Hmm.
And when
It
was
ate
the
my
last?
homework.
It did. It did. It defragged it.
Defragged it. Yeah.
Hmm. And when was the last time you made a mixed tape on a cassette?
Ooh. No, I haven't done it on
Yes,
a
that's one I
cassette,
had.
but yeah, I've made mixed tapes, but not tapes as such. They're just audio files that you put on your phone. But yeah, an actual
Right.
mixtape.
A
Wow.
mixed tape or even a
Yeah.
burned CD.
I haven't burnt a
Mm,
CD in a long time.
That's even a long time.
Yeah, I actually got I've got a big bunch of CDs that are all just generally recorded from radio or some TV stuff I've converted into audio. And I found them the other day, and I've been putting them onto my computer to put them into onto my phone and listen to
Mhm.
them. I've got an audio recording of when the space shuttle first took off, the
Mm.
first Columbia
oh
first
wow.
took off. All of the live broadcast that was on the BBC at the time, and then all of the news um, um, programs. I was there with the tape, and it was just a tape recorder in front of the TV.
Right.
Play and record, junk, and then off we go. So when the news came on, you'd get the and today the space shuttle, and you run over and press the play and record. So half the recording was, and the shuttle today took off. Oh, come on, I missed the first few words. It's like when you were listening to the radio and you wanted to record a record off the radio, and you had to try and wait for the DJ to stop talking, and so that you
Mm.
actually then press play and record.
In the
That's a
1990s,
lost skill.
it is. In the 1990s, I used to record on VCR on the VHS tapes music videos on the music video channel
Ah,
when they used to have
Mm,
music video channels and music
yeah,
videos.
yeah.
yeah.
I've still got the tapes, 9 tapes of classic songs from the 90s, all
Wow,
kinds of different stuff.
Wow.
I haven't looked at it in years and years, but I've got them.
very good. Talking about old things lying around, I had two Commodore Amigas. I think you might remember I said that I found my old Commodore Amigas from the
Yeah.
1990s. I've
Yeah.
managed to sell them both on good old eBay. For the Amiga, it was a 500 plus, which was the next step up from the basic model. It must have cost about, I think it was £399 to buy at the time in 1991. So it was quite an expensive piece of kit. But the hours of fun I had on that machine was incredible. I managed to sell that for 150 quid.
You got ripped off. It was worth way more than
It was probably worth about
Yeah.
160, 170. So I just I literally that was the second one I actually sold, and I just did it to get rid of it.
that.
The first one I sold was the Amiga A1200, which was the much more powerful version. You could play bigger and better games on it, and it had a hard drive and a floppy drive, and I had a lot of the original games with the manuals. One with a receipt from
Mm,
1993,
wow.
a
Wow.
couple of joysticks, a mouse, and that went for £483.
How did you ship it, or did they come and
Crazy.
get it? Was it
I put
local
it in a
sale?
great big box full of bubble wrap, wrapped it all up, and just sent it in the post. So got away with it. It works
And
at the other
another,
end, and it
you've
worked as
just
well.
touched
So
on another,
the two of them worked,
you've just,
so it was worth
you've,
more.
you've just touched on another skill right there. Having to read the how-to guide when you're playing the game, whilst also playing the game, rather than having someone in the top corner of your Stitch stream playing it for you, and then you're like, oh, that's how he did it. Okay, then you're
Yeah,
just copying the person. So
yeah,
playing a game for yourself and learning it for
that's right.
yourself, or using a guide. Yeah.
Reading the manual, which was like half an inch thick,
Oh,
just
Right,
like
that's true.
incredible, incredible. Three
getting
and
all
a
the
half.
lore of the game.
Yeah, all
Mm.
games on 3.5 inch floppies. So you put the first disc in, and then to as a copy protection to make sure that you had an original copy and you had all of the discs, it would load up some of the game, and then it would say, right, put the second disc in. So you put the second disc in, and it would load up some more of the game. Then you put the third disc in, and then it would load up that one. Then the fourth disc, and finally you've got all of your discs. It's proved that you have the game, and now that it's 20 minutes of flipping loading the game. And then and then back in the if you go take a step back when we had a BBC Micro that had a tape recorder next to it, a cassette recorder, and you had to press play on the cassette. You put the cassette in, press play on the cassette, go away literally for half an hour while it loaded the game, and the damn thing was only like 3 megabytes. And then you come all the way upstairs to find out it didn't load. There you go. And you have to start again. The good old
To be
days.
fair, we are kind of going back to that whole waiting for a game thing. You can't just pick up and play anymore. There's always an update. There's always a patch. There's
Oh,
always some microtransaction add-on that they've put onto the game, which was completely brand new. We didn't actually just leave it out so that we could charge you more for this game. So, my kid will pick up the game wanting to play it, but won't start playing it till half an hour after they've already switched the Xbox on because they've been loading up the update.
yeah,
So we're kind of at least keeping that skill going of just waiting for a game to start. We kind of got really used to it in the 90s of just being able to just plug it in and off we go. Apart from when it didn't work and we've lost this skill of blowing on the cartridge to get rid of all the dust,
True.
and so it would work, which is a skill.
yeah.
But they tell you it doesn't actually work, but it does work.
Yeah, I mean the updates are a bane of my life. I wanted to play a game on a driving game, and I've got the steering wheel and the pedals, and I've got a VR headset. So I powered up the computer, and that said, "Oh, you need an update on the computer." I thought, well, no, I can wait. I can wait for that. I powered up
Mhm.
the headset, and the headset said, "Downloading an update." Oh, you're kidding me. So I then powered up the software for the headset, and that needed an update. And then finally, I fired up the game, and that needed an update. 1.5 hours, I sat
Wow.
there
Ooh.
watching bars going across the screen, spinning discs, and all sorts. 1.5 hours. I could have played the game in that time, and I had to wait for all the updates. All I did in the end was instead of doing a full race, which is what I wanted to do, I just got on, did a few laps. By that time, I was bored and gave up. So it's just everything I turned on needed an update. Horrific.
And that's another skill that we've lost is just sitting in silence and being bored with your
Yeah.
own thoughts and not scrolling on your phone mindlessly before you even realize you're scrolling mindlessly on your phone.
Exactly.
Sorry, sorry. Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I was on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, reading a book. I mean, the amount of times I just want to sit down and read a
Mm.
book for an hour.
Oh, I can't do it anymore.
No, I
I
can't. No,
used I used to read 2 or 3 books in a week, and now if I can read one book in 6 months, I just can't sit there and do it anymore.
Yeah.
I always, since I was a young kid, I've always read a book before I go to bed to help me get to sleep because it does
Right.
make me tired and I go to sleep. Um,
Mm.
so that's when I do most of my reading, and it might only be a couple of pages and I'm gone, or it might be half an hour or even an hour and I'm still reading. But I deliberately put in a note on my phone that said, read book. And this was at 3 o'clock on a Sunday, right? So the idea Sunday is I've got an hour to myself, sit down, read a book, and I can't do it.
No,
I'm either busy doing something else or something has come up or, or, I'm about to make the roast dinner for the evening or whatever. And it's just the timing's wrong. I can't sit down and read a book anymore like I used to.
no. I blame the internet and smartphones. It's
Yeah,
awful.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep,
Very true.
I think that's it.
Okay. Any more? Anybody else got any more?
Uh, I had paper routes. You remember them? When rather than going on your phone to get the news you wanted, you actually hired a child. You went into child labor and got them to deliver it to your door instead. Yeah, so like paper routes, just like having that idea that you could just still earn money, but you're up. But just delivering your news, you have to wait for this piece of paper to arrive at your house. Just seems very strange and antiquated.
Hmm.
There were loads of other ones that were along the sort of lines of making mixtapes, downloading or getting MP3s all in line so that you had your collection on your iPod, not your iPad, kids, iPod. Um, Texting using your phone pad. Like, how
Yes.
do you? So using your old Nokia, like you have to if you want the letter C, press
Three
one three
times.
times. This, yeah. Showed my kid a Nokia the other day. Had no idea what I was talking about. But that's like code breaking.
Oh, what's
Ooh.
that? Sean's showing us there.
It's an iPod.
Oh, wow.
An iPod.
There's the home screen right
Oh,
there.
wow.
The home button,
Oh
I
my
mean.
goodness.
I never
Oh
had one,
my
so I don't.
goodness.
Wow, I
It's
know.
a physical button. You can kind of see it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Physical buttons. Oh my God, there's
Physical
another thing
buttons.
as well.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Everything's a touch screen.
Yeah.
There's also thinking of physical interaction. There was a thing on TikTok of a new Bluetooth accessory you can get for your phone. It's this really cool thing. It's like a block, and then there's this kind of like I don't know banana shape that sort of sits on top with tiny, tiny little two bowls, and you can Bluetooth it to your phone. And if someone calls you, you literally lift it up and you put it to your head, and it sort of
Oh,
it covers the ear. It
no.
makes it so much easier to hear the sound on it. And the
Wow.
Gen Zs are like losing their mind. You really should look into this. It's an amazing thing. And there's adverts for these ones, and you can get these really ornate, beautiful black ones. I mean, it's brand new technology. I really think it's going to catch on because it means that you could hear the phone call so much clearer than you could on your mobile phone because the mobile phone's sort of slightly away from your ear and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. So good. Like no cable though. So that's always fun. You charge it up and then you can use it as a I suppose you could call it a land line because it's sort of sitting on something, so it's on land, it's not
Yeah.
mobile. But yeah, maybe it'll catch on.
What will they think of next?
I know, crazy, huh? Great.
And
Genuinely, there is a business. They are selling these things. It's
I know
crazy.
I'm not surprised, but
Yeah.
I think Tom Paris had it right about 30 years ago when he designed the Delta Flyer, and it had physical toggle switches in it.
Yes.
That's what
So
I
much
miss.
better.
I miss
Yes.
tactile
Yeah.
things, that you can actually manipulate and use.
That's right. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. My car now has a touch screen, for all of
Yeah.
the things. And and they said in this model you will actually get physical switches as well for the heater and the all the the car uh,
Crazy.
seat heaters and all this type of thing. Oh, and everybody's going, "Wow, the retro! Wow, yes, we like it." Oh, for goodness sake, just give me switches.
And how about windows that you can roll up?
Oh yeah, that's a good
Remember
idea. Yeah,
those?
yeah. That's what you
Yeah.
say. You always say that, don't you? Wind the window. I'm just going to wind the window down. What's this?
Yeah.
What's what's this? Wind the window down. It's like I'm going to wind the window down. Hmm. Just pressing the button.
And
Yes,
the
it's
mechanism would get stuck, so you kind of had to jiggle it before it leveled out again, and then you could
yeah,
get it all the way back down.
that's right.
Yeah, the
Yes.
lost art. That's a lost art indeed.
And if somebody was putting their head in through the through the window, you could wind it up and get the neck trapped in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. But you both drive manual?
I can, but I don't have one.
Now, this is what
Okay,
I
but you
was going to
can.
mention this. Yeah, I don't drive
Mm,
them. In fact, now my wife and I have what we would call automatics. It's the same as America. Most Americans and Canadians have that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, on the rise is actually a dip in car theft. You've now got a built-in security system on your car if you drive a manual, because most Gen Zs, apparently 20% was the statistic on here, at the moment cannot drive a manual. So if they were looking to steal your car, they can't
That's right.
if you are driving a manual. So it's a built-in security system. And actually, some car companies are starting to jump on this and like say, oh, yeah, this is going to be harder to steal because you're a manual, so you can go ahead and just drive this off the lot right today, and you'll be right as rain. So that apparently is a lost art, the anti-theft device of manual
Hmm.
driving.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, that obviously, Sean, in Canada when we were over there as well, we noticed that a lot of the cars are automatic cars. They don't have a
Oh
stick
yeah.
shift, or
Mm,
it's not a manual. Um, and this is going to be a dying art over here, is changing gear in a car,
Hmm.
matching the
mm.
revs to with the using the clutch to disengage the engine from the wheels to change gear, to manually then synchro the speed of the wheels with the speed of the clutch and the speed of the engine, just by using a lever that you use on your foot, to pull two clutch plates together and apart. That is such a skill when you really think about what you are doing there. That is a hell of a skill to learn, and you're getting young kids to jump into cars and to learn how to do this. Men and women alike, they can all do it. Millions of people all around the world. And as soon as electric comes in, you won't have to do it at all.
No,
Nobody will do it ever.
no.
I've got a physical gear stick. It's a gear stick. It's a switch that takes it from reverse to drive to park. And that's it. My wife's got a proper lever. It's like a proper automatic car. It's like with a lever in it, which I much prefer. And it's very nice. But neither of us have used our left foot to drive for, well, good 6 or 7 months. Well, both of us have not done it for about 6 or 7 months. I've had an automatic car for a few years now, since I came back from Canada. So much easier to drive. But the electrics are much better than the automatics. The petrol automatics, so much better. It's instantaneous and it just keeps going. It doesn't change gear. Whereas my wife's car is an automatic hybrid, so it's got a petrol engine and a small battery. But it's as you drive it, you feel that vroom as it changes gear, and there is a bit of a delay while everything engages, but not with electric car. It's very, very instantaneous. Yeah, good fun. But nope, nobody will be changing gears anymore.
No, that's it. And the last one is actually the reason why I was wearing this T-shirt.
Back to the future.
Back to the Future. It's my favorite example of a forgotten skill, and it's the bit where Marty is trying to get the lid off the Coke or the Pepsi, and he just literally cannot turn it off. It's really not coming off. And then George McFly just takes it out of his hand, puts it onto a little can opener on the side of the petrol station, yanks it, and it lifts off the thing because it's a metal lid. It's not a twist lid. And obviously that's a whole skill that people haven't lost. And I remember so many parties going, for the first time, we're drinking and we've got these bottles with metal lids. They're not things. So people had to have a tin opener, or they had those belt buckles, really big 90s belt buckles, which you could then, crack off the beer and then give it to your friend and all this kind of stuff. That social interaction from beer and not having a twisty top. People won't have to interact with those anymore. There's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah, that's a bizarre one because I mean, in America they've had twist off, what they call a crown, on beer bottles for years. Over here, we have to use a bottle opener. Why the hell do we have the twist off ones? Come on, it's so much easier when you get over there. Anybody can use them. It's great.
Yeah. And there was also the thing of like there were no smokers at the barbecue that we went to last year, and nobody had a lighter. So how do we start the barbecue? It's a completely forgotten thing that people just don't have access to a lighter anymore. So everyone's got those little clicky rod things now. So that's it. But yeah, social interaction, beers, that sort of thing, it's all changing.
Yeah, pretty much so. Well, if anybody out there listening has any things that they can think of, by all means, email us at cosmicpizzapodcast@gmail.com, or hop onto the Facebook page and have a look there. Pop in a few notes and say, "Hey, guess what? You've forgotten about this." Anything you can think of.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I believe that is the end of the show, and therefore, the Cosmic Pizza has been consumed by a fantastic listener. The grease in the box is cold, and we hope you are full to the brim. So join us for another slice of life next month in another special delivery, hopefully with Kacey this time, of the Cosmic Pizza Podcast.
Excellent job, guys.